The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been a major part of pop culture since their debut in the 1980s. While all four turtles, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael, are loved for their unique personalities and ninja skills, Raphael, or Raph as he's often called, stands out as the team's tough and rebellious member. Over the years, Raph's character has evolved significantly, reflecting changes in both the TMNT franchise and the larger world of entertainment. Let's take a closer look at how Raph has grown and changed over the years. Raphael first appeared alongside his brothers in the original TMNT comic book, created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird in 1984. In this version, the Turtles were a lot darker and grittier compared to the versions most fans are familiar with today. The comics were originally intended for a more mature audience, with a black and white art style and intense action scenes. From the very start, Raphael was shown to be a hothead with a bit of a temper. He often got into arguments with his brothers, especially Leonardo, who was the group's leader. While the other turtles followed orders more easily, Raph preferred to go his own way. This rebellious nature made him both dangerous and intriguing. In the original comics, Raph's frustration sometimes boiled over into violence. He wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty, and he often acted on impulse. This version of Raphael was more of a lone wolf, occasionally fighting solo or going off on his own adventures, which separated him from his brothers. Even though he loved his family, his attitude often put him at odds with them. The TMNT franchise became a global sensation in 1987, with the launch of its first animated TV series. This version of TMNT is what many fans think of when they imagine the Turtles: bright colors, catchphrases like "Cowabunga," and plenty of pizza. Raphael's character took on a lighter tone in this series. Instead of being the aggressive, serious fighter from the comics, Raph became more sarcastic and snarky. He still had a bit of a tough guy attitude, but it was played for laughs rather than for drama. He was the turtle who cracked jokes, often breaking the fourth wall by speaking directly to the audience. This shift made Raphael more approachable for kids, but some comic book fans missed his darker, edgier personality. However, the success of the 1987 show helped make TMNT a household name, and Raph's lighter, funnier character fit perfectly with the tone of the series. His role as the snarky brother provided a nice balance to Leonardo's seriousness, Donatello's nerdiness, and Michelangelo's carefree personality. In 1990, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hit the big screen with their first live-action movie. This film tried to balance the darker tone of the original comics with the lighter tone of the animated series. As a result, Raphael's character was a mix of the sarcastic jokester from the TV show and the angry loner from the comics. In the movie, Raphael struggles with his anger and frustration, which leads him to clash with Leonardo and even go off on his own for a time. There's a memorable scene where Raph gets ambushed by the Foot Clan and severely injured, which highlights just how vulnerable his hot-headedness can make him. Despite these moments of anger, Raph also has a softer side in the movie. His relationship with Casey Jones, a vigilante who becomes an ally to the Turtles, adds a layer of depth to his character. The movie allowed Raph to show that beneath his tough exterior, he cares deeply for his family and friends, even if he doesn't always know how to express it. In 2003, a new animated series brought the Turtles back to TV screens. This version of TMNT was closer to the original comics, with a darker, more action-packed tone compared to the lighthearted 1987 series. Raphael's character was also more serious in this version, staying true to his rebellious and angry nature. In the 2003 series, Raph's temper often gets him into trouble, but it also makes him one of the most passionate and dedicated members of the team. His rivalry with Leonardo is more pronounced, and there are several episodes where the two brothers clash over their different approaches to leadership and fighting. However, this version of Raph isn't just a ball of anger. He's also fiercely loyal to his family, and he shows moments of vulnerability that help round out his character. In some episodes, we see him questioning his place in the team, or struggling to control his emotions. This complexity makes Raph one of the most interesting characters in the 2003 series, as he constantly wrestles with his inner demons. In 2012, Nickelodeon launched a new animated series that once again reimagined the TMNT universe. This version of Raphael kept many of the traits fans had come to expect. He was still the hothead of the group, and he still had a rocky relationship with Leonardo. But there was more heart and humor added to his character. One of the major changes in this series was the relationship between Raph and his pet turtle, Spike, who later mutates into a character named Slash. This bond showed a softer side to Raph, highlighting his caring nature, even though he didn't always show it in typical ways. His interactions with Spike/Slash provided some of the most emotional moments in the show, showing that Raph's tough guy persona was just one part of who he was. This series also gave more attention to Raph's relationships with his brothers. He was still the rebel, but there were more moments where he showed affection, even if he tried to hide it. His bond with Michelangelo, in particular, was highlighted, with Raph often looking out for his younger brother despite his gruff exterior. In 2018, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles introduced a completely new take on the Turtles, both in terms of animation style and character design. In this series, Raphael went through one of his most significant transformations. Instead of being the hot-headed second-in-command, Raph was now the leader of the group. This was a big change for fans who were used to seeing Leonardo as the leader and Raph as the rebel. However, the shift made sense within the context of this new version of the TMNT universe. Raph was still the biggest and toughest turtle, but now he was also responsible for leading the team and making decisions. This version of Raphael was less angry and more protective of his brothers. While he still had a short temper, it was balanced by his strong sense of responsibility. He acted more like a big brother who looked out for his siblings, which made him feel more mature compared to previous versions. The 2018 show was more lighthearted and comedic, but it still showed that Raph was capable of being both strong and caring. The TMNT franchise continues to evolve, and Raphael's character is likely to change with it. He has always been one of the most complex turtles, balancing his anger and rebelliousness with loyalty and love for his family. Whether he's a lone wolf, a jokester, or a leader, Raph's core personality, his passion and determination, remains the same. As new generations of fans discover TMNT, Raph will continue to be a fan favorite. His journey from an angry, isolated fighter to a more well-rounded and caring brother shows how much he has grown over the years. No matter what the future holds for the TMNT franchise, Raph will always be the turtle with the biggest heart, even if he doesn't always show it.